Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sahagana Lalita Śrī Viṣṇavitanscha. He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami. Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrī Vāsadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. So we are having a lot of home programs that are coming. So next on July 5th, I think, we have home program in Meera Mataji's house. And on June 11th, we have a home program in Divya and Shyam. So Divya Mataji and Shyam Prabhu's house. So one of the like a online Bhakti Vrukshas in our temple. So there are like a group of Grasthas who are learning Mukunda-mala-stotram. So they are going to recite the entire Mukunda-mala-stotram in Divya Mataji's house and Shyam Prabhu's house. So that's on July 11th. So because we are, it's coming in 2 weeks, many of the devotees will be there. I thought this is a good opportunity for us to discuss briefly about Mukunda-mala-stotram and also the wonderful Vaishnava who authored Mukunda-mala-stotram, that is Kulasekhara Ālvār, King Kulasekhara. So first I'll briefly tell about Kulasekhara Ālvār. So whatever we have recited up to now, Vishnu Sahasranam, or if you are coming to Bhagavad Gita classes or Bhagavatam classes, we were told about the Yuga Dharmas that one must follow. So there are 4 yugas. Many of you might be familiar with this. One is Satya Yuga, next Treta Yuga, then Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is what we are running. We are in the first Pradama Sandhya of Kali Yuga. We didn't even enter into the main Kali Yuga yet. So at the beginning itself you can see how this is. So the Satya Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is Tapasya. So we can see if like Ramayana, though it happens in Treta Yuga, we can see the discussion of some of the stories like sage Vishwamitra or some other sages about how their whole life has been. So there will be like 100 or 120 years where there will be a big king ruling kingdoms or doing so on and so forth. Then they will retire and go for tapasya for like some 10,000 years, 20,000 years like that. So many pastimes of these sages will come in pastimes of Mahabharata or Ramayana, if you see. So the predominant, for the Yuga Dharma is tapasya. So like that, for Treta Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is yajnas. So there will be a lot of yajnas, that's why. If you see in the beginning of Ramayana itself, Vishwamitra Muni comes and asks the boys Ram and Lakshmana to protect his the yajna that is going in the Tapovan. So like that there will be so many yajnas. Even when Ravana's son Meghanad wants some powers, he does some special yajna or something like that. So yajna is the main Yuga Dharma there. And for Dwapar Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is deity worship. So we can see that's why during the excavation of Dwaraka, it's also temple also, we found a lot of temples underneath the ocean bed. So that is there. The Yuga Dharma of Kali Yuga is chanting the names of Lord Hari. So there is a Kalisantarana Upanishad repeatedly in Padma Puran. So many references of this you can find in the Shastras. That other than chanting the names of Lord, there is no other way that we can go. We are not eligible to perform Aswamedha Yagnas or any Yagnas. We are actually prohibited to do in this age. And if there is some election season in India, we see politicians do these false Yagnas and all. Actually, if you observe Shastras, we are completely unqualified to perform such Yagnas. So like that you take, like our bodies don't support that, the tapasyas where they do like Ashtanga Yoga for 500 years and so on. But the greatest gift that is given to us is about like chanting the names of Lord. So that's why Hare Krishna Mahamantra, like whenever you come to any of the events, we repeatedly sing, constantly glorify Lord through Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And so when we attend these Srimad Bhagavatam classes, we come to this aspect, like knowing about this Yuga Dharma and so on. So the main theme that Bhagavatam addresses about like perfecting one's own life is Uttama Sloka Gunanuvaranane. Even when we are chanting the Mangalacharana slokas, we say Narayana Namaskritya Naran Seva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tatoje Mudhirayat Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Chuttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. This is one of the, like daily we chant this before Bhagavatam class. That is, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. One who does Nityam Bhagavata Seva. That is the service to the Vaishnavas or to the book Bhagavatam. How can we serve Bhagavatam? Yes, we can worship it. But the greater service is opening and reading and implementing in our life and following it. So, Bhagavat Uttama Sloke, what that Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam comprises of? Bhagavati Uttama Sloke. So it consists of Uttama Slokas. Uttama Slokas are two things. One is the choicest verses or prayers given by the Uttama Sloka devotees. So Uttama Sloka means spotless. And that is, there are two. One is Uttama Sloka prayers that are offered by the devotees who are Uttama Slokas. That is, who are Mahajanas, who are pure devotees of the Lord, who has a material life very similar to us, but they have exemplified the process of bhakti and perfected their life. So they are our, icons that we should follow. So they are the, the beacon light that we have to follow. So that Uttama Sloka Gunanuvaranane is repeatedly said. So to understand, to get the taste of chanting the holy names of the Lord, we should know about the devotees who like made their life itself in the chanting and showing what is the effect of that chanting of the holy names. That pure devotees' glories and pastimes are glorified. Of that, Mukunda-mala-stotram is one of the prayers that is offered by King Kulasekhara. So before going into the Mukunda-mala, I will say some verses itself. There are like 50 verses of Mukunda-mala, which you can, many of the Vaishnavas, when they are giving classes, they recite they refer to one of the slokas of Mukunda-mala-stotram. So Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, his Mukunda-mala-stotram is one of his favorites as well. That's why he started and translated the first six slokas of Mukunda-mala-stotra. Then because of the time constraint, so he gave it to the disciples and he went on finishing the works of translating Srimad Bhagavatam. So Mukunda-mala-stotram is holds such a high position in any of the Vaishnava community. So why it has that prominence? So when we say, okay, we have to offer prayers to the Lord, whatever the situation is there, take shelter of the Lord and all, we should know what is the mode with which one should pray to the Lord. So that is taught by Mahajanas or pure devotees. If you see, some of the Indian movies also has this. Like when they want to portray some character of some devotee or someone, so in the movie, like he glorifies so much, there will be a problem. Then he starts to blaspheme the Lord, thinking, oh, this is a super emotion. Oh, you are like, there will be a South Indian movies also like that. Oh, you are not God, you are just a stone. Your heart has become stone. Something like that, just to like just entice that cinematic thing. They try to like put these things. But this is not a way to approach Lord or offer prayers to the Lord. Rupa Goswami writes this explicitly, that whenever any thought, like whenever we are suffering, any thought leads to thinking that Kṛṣṇa is putting me under that suffering, or villainizing Kṛṣṇa in any way, we should immediately cut that thought and we should never blaspheme the Lord. So this kind of do's and don'ts we do not know. When we are, that's why we can't craft our own prayers like that. Of course, personal offerings we can give, but the prayers of these pure devotees gives us, like a guidance as to what is the mood with which one must serve the Lord. What is the mood that one must, have while performing the devotional service. So out of that, one of the topmost Vaishnava, whom we predominantly see in Śrī Vaiṣṇava Sampradaya, is Kulasekhara Ālvār. So Ālvārs, I don't know if many of you are familiar with, in Śrī Sampradaya there are many Ālvārs, like I think 13 or 12 prominent Ālvārs are there. So they are supreme devotees of Vishnu. And so each Ālvār is one of the paraphernalia of Lord who takes birth like one of us, and then shows this, they give us this knowledge of how to pray to the Lord and so on. But they are actually some paraphernalia of Vishnu. So like Ananta Ālvār is the Seshnag, like that Ramanujacharya is also like Seshnag, like that there are different Ālvārs who is different paraphernalia of Lord Vishnu. So like that, Kulasekhara Ālvār is the Kaustuba gem of Vishnu. So Kaustuba gem of Vishnu. If you go to Tirupati hills, there is a saint called as Annamacharya. So Annamaya is actually the Nandaka Khadga of there is a sword Vishnu has. That name is Nandaka. So that is Annamacharya. So there is a lot of kirtans that he wrote that constantly Tirupati temple has. Like that, Kulasekhara Ālvār is actually the Kaustuba gem of the Mahavishnu. So Kulasekhara, unlike other saints, he is actually a king of Malayanadu, now Kerala. So in South India, you have like, it's completely ruled by Cholas, Pandyas, and the west coast is by Chera dynasty. So the king of Chera is Kulasekhara actually. And so there is another theme that we see in like our scriptures, that we see Janaka Maharaj or Ambarish Maharaj or Prahalad Maharaj. These are all actually kings who ruled the kingdoms. But they are also pure devotees of the Lord. So these are like Rajarshis, like that. So that means they might be kings, but they are almost rishis. That's why even in some of the kings like Janaka Maharaj, you can say, many of these saints come and take his blessings and takes guidance from him, though he is a king. So Kulasekhara Ālvār is also a king, and in the beginning of the life of Kulasekhara Ālvār, he is like a very powerful king who is unbeatable. So there was some stories also, like where a Pandya king once tries to conquer his dynasty, but he was completely defeated. Then the Pandya king gives his daughter to wed to like Kulasekhara, and King Kulasekhara marries her and rules over Madurai and all those regions as well. So, but there is some specialty of Kulasekhara Ālvār. Kulasekhara Ālvār is so pious and so virtuous. His other title is called Ramarajasekhara. So constantly in his kingdom, he used to bring pandits and other monks, and there is always the discussion of Ramayana. Constantly Ramayana discourses used to happen, and he used to get absorbed. It's not like just some program that is running for cultural purpose. He used to be absorbed while listening to the Ramayana. So there are some pastimes where that is very much very famous about Kulasekhara Ālvār. That is, so whenever these sages come and speak about Śrī Ranganatha. So Śrī Rangam, there is another big temple. It's one of the foremost Divyadeshams of Mahavishnu. You can see this lying form and all that. So Ranganatha Swami, whenever they are speaking about Śrī Ranganath, one of the forms of Vishnu, so he used to get so attracted and he used to run towards Śrī Rangam. But the ministers used to get scared, and they used to arrange some monks on the way so that whenever he sees them, he used to fall obeisances onto them and invite to their to his kingdom and serve them, and somehow used to forget. Like in the service of Vaishnavas, he used to drop the plans of going to Śrī Rangam. Like that, they used to contain him in the kingdom. And so in when these Ramayana discourses are happening, there are two famous stories that very famous of Kulasekhara Ālvār. You will see some paintings also. After listening this, you will relate to it. So one is in Ramayana, when Surpanaka sees Rama, tries to come on Rama, and then Ram will push her away and asks her to go to Lakshmana, and then Lakshman gets angry and she tries to attack Sita at the end. That's why Lakshmana, because of the dharma of Treta Yuga, he cuts the nose and ears and then sends that demon Surpanaka. So she goes and complains all these things to Ravana. So Ravana, to estimate what is the strength of these boys, like Ram and Lakshmana, he goes and arranges these 14,000 demons with led by Kara and Dushana. Actually, we'll go, after some few weeks, we'll if Kṛṣṇa wills, we'll discuss on Rama and pastimes. So we see Ram fighting Tataki and others like protecting Tapovan by killing Subahu and like throwing an arrow at shooting Maricha, and Maricha will be thrown like some 1,000 yojanas away or so on. So like that you see, but this fighting with Kara and Dushana led by 14,000 demons, like we will see the full form of like Lord Ram. He'll be single-handedly fighting all these 14,000. So when this pastime is being narrated in the kingdom of Kulasekhara Ālvār, so before that, like this pastime is going on, that Lord Ram is single-handedly has to fight these 14,000. So in this great absorption, Kulasekhara Ālvār immediately stops the discourse and orders army to go and assist Lord Ram like that. And the sages has to say the conclusion of the Ramayana in 2-3 verses to say that, hey, Ram has successfully fought them and Sita has been brought back and so on. Like that, they used to conclude Ramayana like that. So then he used to be pacified. So that much absorption King Kulasekhara used to have. So there is another pastime which is famous. So since before going that, I'll tell another one. So this is a very, very famous pastime of Kulasekhara. You will see a king riding the horse in the ocean. This is that pastime. So another time, there is this whole pastime of Ramayana is going on, and so the abduction of Sita is the pastime that is going on. And in the absorption, King Kulasekhara deploys all the army to the southern tip, like near Rameshwaram and so on. So like all the towards Lanka. So all the army goes there. The ministers are completely clueless. And then even Kulasekhara comes and he was about to charge, but the other army is confused. Whom are we going war against? They are completely confused. And he will be saying, hey, like Ravana abducted Mother Sita, we should go and bring her to assist Lord Ram, like that he will say. Everyone looks confused. They know that this has been over, like everyone is familiar with Ramayana and all, but who has guts to go and say to that valorous king, Kulasekhara. So then ministers try to say that he understands that no one is going to come. Then he will say, okay, none of you, if you don't come also, I am going and bringing Mother Sita back. And he takes his horse and charges into the ocean. It's like there will be a painting also that in one of the temples you can see that Kulasekhara takes the horse and charges into ocean. So after going against the ocean, then Lord Ram actually appears in the ocean itself and says, see, Kulasekhara, cool down, like everything, like Sita has been brought back, and he will actually tell a short version of Ramayana to Kulasekhara, and he also comes with Sita Mata in, and then he shows, see, Sita is with me only, go back to your kingdom and so on. So that level of absorption Kulasekhara has. That's why he has this Ramarajasekhara, means he used to rule the kingdom as how Lord Ram ruled the kingdom of Ayodhya, Ramarajya. Like that he tried to establish that. And such a amazing Vaishnava Kulasekhara is. So after all this happening, so there is once because the entire the court was flooded by Vaishnavas, so many of the ministers like are upset because rather than discussing on the administrative tasks, the more like all the only Vaishnavas are being flooded in the asthana of King Kulasekhara. So they try to drive them away, but the way to do it is they one of the ministers will steal the necklace, the golden necklace of the deities, Lord Ram's deity in his court, like in his like close to his whatever the place that is there, where they go regularly. And then he says that one of the Vaishnavas have stolen this, like that he tries to put that blame on them. So Kulasekhara is not believing all these stories that Vaishnavas will never run after wealth and let alone stealing the necklace or jewelry of Lord. So he tells, so there is a way to prove. He orders his, the army people to arrange a pot with a poisonous cobra snake in it, and he will tell, I am going to put my hand, and if I come out alive, like without any snake bite, it means they are free of guilty. If I die, that's it. That means one of the Vaishnavas have stolen. You can reprimand and try to retrieve the stolen necklace. Like that he says, and he puts his hand in that pot. And we know what is going to happen. Like Lord is there always, so the snake will not attack Kulasekhara. And he comes out unscathed. So with that, all the minister who did all this plan and all comes and falls on the feet of Kulasekhara and tells, it's my thing and all, please excuse me. But then he says that, see, these are all fine, you are completely absorbed, but the kingdom has to run according to some principles of Kshatriya Dharma. So then after hearing both sides, what he does is, my mind is completely towards the Lord, and he coronates his son and he completely retires to Sri Ranga temple. So then Kulasekhara Ālvār comes to the temple of Sri Rangam. So there are 108 Divya Deshams, that is 108 prominent temples of Lord Hari, that is there. In that there are 8 prominent temples which are Swayam Vyakta Kshetras, that is Vishnu himself appeared there. Tirupati is one of it, like that. So out of that, the topmost temple is Sri Rangam. And when Kulasekhara, the retired king, now Kulasekhara Ālvār, is taking the darshan of Sri Ranganatha, he is overwhelmed by the beauty of the Lord, and he completely engaged in the glorification and seva of Ranganath. And he used to outpour the emotions, and there he compiled Prabandhas, which is Perumal Tirumoli. It is one of the 4000 Nalayar Divya Prabandham. Like that there are some compilation. And the another verse that he compiled is Mukunda-mala-stotram. So Mukunda-mala-stotram means any mala will have beads in it. So all the beads will be strung as a necklace. So whatever each sloka that he is offering is one of the bead that he is putting on the neck of Mukunda, Kṛṣṇa. So that's a beautiful verses of Mukunda-mala-stotram. I'll tell you, before going into the Mukunda-mala-stotram also, Prabhupada in the last days, he used to chant one of the verses of Mukunda-mala-stotram. Kṛṣṇa tvadiya padapankaja panjarantam adjaiva me vishatu manasa rajahamsaha prana prayana samaye kaphavata pittai kanthavarudha vidau smaranam kutastu. So this Prabhupada used to chant, and What it means is, according to the instructions of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever the state of mind that one has at the time of death, our next birth is awarded according to that. And how it will be framed based on whatever the activities that we are going through our life, that last time thoughts are framed. And if one thinks of Kṛṣṇa at the last days or last minutes, then you will reach to the Lord's abode and continue in your Swarupa as offering service to the Lord. And this verse, Mukunda-mala-stotram, Kulasekhara Ālvār writes, Kṛṣṇa tvadiya padapankaja panjarantam, onto your lotus feet, the panjara, the cage of your lotus feet, adjaivame visatu, let my manasa rajahamsa, the royal swan of my mind, let it go and trap in your cage of your lotus feet, adjaivame, like right now. Why? Prana prayana samaye, at the time of leaving the body, kaphavata pittaihi. So the body is completely filled with bile, all these other things, you might be choked. And kanthavarudha vidau smaranam kutaste. If I am completely choked, I might not be able to chant your name. So rather than waiting at that last moments, let my mind be entrapped onto your lotus feet right now. These are the gems of verses that Kulasekhara Ālvār writes. So there is a corridor also around the Srirangam temple that is built by Kulasekhara. It's called Kulasekharan Tirusutru, something like that will be there, where even now the procession is going on. So at the last, Kulasekhara has a daughter, and he actually marries her daughter to Ranganath itself. So even now in the Srirangam temple, there will be a deity of Chera Kulavalli Nachyar. That is the, so she also she is said to be the incarnation of Neela Devi, who is one of the consorts of Mahavishnu. So she also enters into the temple, and like they say that she went back to abode like that. So like that. And even on the Tirupati, Kulasekhara Ālvār wrote many verses. In one of the compilation of, he writes like saying, oh, let me be a bird on the hill of Tirumala, or a fish in the Pushkarani of the Lord, or a servant who, washes Lord's face in the first time in the morning. And let me be a flower tree in the garden, and let me be a river on any of this hill. Like that he offers. And in one of the prayers, he says, actually I don't know Tamil, I'll ask one of my Tamil friends later to discuss these ones. Some padiyai kidantu un pavala vai kanbene, like that it comes. So what it means is, let me be a stepstone in front of you so that I can enjoy your holy coral colored lips, like that he offers. So Lord Venkateswara actually blessed that the desire of Kulasekhara, that even now there will be like stepstones. In the first, that stepstone is the entrance to the Lord's sanctum sanctorium, the Gopura. So the main entrance, the first, the stepstone of Lord like Venkateswara is called Kulasekhara Padi or Kulasekhara Tirupadi. That stepstone is said to be Kulasekhara himself. That Lord put him there like that. So that level of Vaishnava the Kulasekhara is. So before chanting Mukunda-mala-stotram, they recite this verse. What is that? Gushyate yasya nagare rangayatra dine dine tamaham sirasa vande rajanam Kulasekharam. That is, Gushyate yasya nagare, in which city is Rangayatra dine dine. The procession of Sri Ranganatha takes place every day. So in that streets, whenever you are going or whenever you are remembering of that, Tamaham Sirasa Vande, the first person that you have to remember is Rajanam Kulasekharam, the king of devotees, Kulasekhara. That's what this verse is. So when before Mukunda-mala, this is the story of the great devotee Kulasekhara Ālvār, and this is the composition of Mukunda-mala-stotram. So there are so many amazing verses. I will tell like 2 or 3 verses just to see how beautiful are these verses. It's a very small, very short book, and it consists of 40-50 slokas. Each one 53, and each one is so beautiful sloka that if you have time, please read it. Okay. So the opening one he chants is Śrī Vallabheti Varadeti Dayapareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalunta Nakovideti Nadeti Natha Sayaneti Jagannivase Tyalapanam Pratipadam Kurumam Mukunda. Like that it goes. So Mukunda, my Lord, please let me become a constant reciter of your names, addressing you as Śrī Vallabha, who is very dear to Lakshmi, Varada, the bestower of benedictions, Dayapara, who is causelessly merciful, Bhakta Priya, he who is very dear to his devotees, Bhavaluntana Kovida, who is expert at plundering the status quo of repeated birth and death, Natha, the Supreme Lord, Jagannivasa, the resort of cosmos, and Nagasayana, the Lord who lies down on the serpent bed. Like that it goes. So see the mood of his prayers. The third sloka, what he says is Mukunda Murdhna Pranipatya Yache. By taking the shelter at the lotus feet of you, Mukunda, Bhavantam Ekanta Viyamardham, I am asking you one boon. Avismrtistva Charanara. Let me not forget of your lotus feet. Bhave bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. Even after lifetime, please let me not forget you. That is the boon that he is asking from Mukunda. And so there might be many motivations for us to approach to the Lord. So this verse says about what is the motivation of Kulasekhara Ālvār. Naham vande tava charanayor dvandva madvandva hetu. O Kṛṣṇa, I am not bowing onto your lotus feet but to escape the dvandva madvandva hetu, the dualities of material life. What are the dualities? We are always, in our material life, we are always going between these two. Labha labhau, jaya jayau, man apaman, sitoshna, sukha dukkha. So these are the dualities that we always oscillate with. So he is saying, Naham vande tava charanayor. I am not offering my obeisances to escape from the dualities of this material life, Kṛṣṇa. Kumbhi pakam gurumapi harer narakam napanetum. There are 64 types of hells. According to one's punishment, that kind of punishments will be given. Kumbhi pakam is where you will be fried in the oil. Like that, there are ghastly punishments that are there. So he is saying, Kumbhi pakam gurumapi, more than serious punishments. Narakam napanetum. I am not praying to you to escape from these hellish planets. Then Ramya Rama Mrudutanu Lata Nandane Napirantum. He is a Kshatriya king. So I am not praying to you to get like a nice, beautiful looking woman to enjoy. That's not what my prayers are. Then what am I praying for? Bhave, bhave, life after life, Hrudaya bhavane, in the building of my heart, bhavayeyam bhavantam, let me meditate on you, Kṛṣṇa. That is what Kulasekhara Ālvār prays. So these are amazing verses. So bhave, bhave, Hrudaya bhavane, bhavayeyam bhavantam, like that he says. And the 10th verse, it says, Mabhirmandamano vichintya bahudha yamischiram yatana naivami prabhavanti papa ripavaha swami nanusridharaha alasyam vyapaniya bhakti sulabham dhyayasvanarayanam lokasya vyasanapanodhanakaro dasasya kimna kshamaha. This is one of the verse. So what he says, Mandamati, O foolish mind, Mabhihi, don't be fearful of Vichintya Bahuda Yamischiram Yatana. There are so many troubles that Yamaraj puts to us. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi are the 3 types of problems that we go to, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. Like that, there are so many problems that the material body goes into. And O mind, don't be fearful of thinking about those. Naivami Prabhavanti, Papa Ripavaha. Ripavaha means enemies. The enemies of misery, the sinful reactions, will Naivami Prabhavanti, they are not effective. Swami Nanusridha, because the master that you are serving is Sridharaha, he is the husband of goddess of fortune Lakshmi. And so Alasyam Vyapaniya, without making any further delay, Bhakti Sulabham, take up to this easiest process of devotional service. Dhyayasvanarayanam, meditate on to the Lord Narayana. Lokasya Vyasanapanodhanakaro, the one who maintains the balance of the universe and removes the any misery that the worlds are facing, dasasya kimna kshamaha, will he not forgive this his own servant? Like that he writes. So these are very personal offerings that Kulasekhara Ālvār writes. And then he is saying this, 16th one, this is, He Martya Paramam Hitam Srunutavo, O Martya, O mortal man, Paramam Hitam Srunutavo. I am going to say you a Paramam Hitam, most beneficial words. Vakshami Sankshetapaha, I will say in a very concised form. Samsara Arnavam Apadurnimi Bahulam. This Samsara Arnavam, the ocean of material existence, is Apadurmi Bahulam. There is always some problem that the material world throws at us. Samyak Pravishya Sthita, you are entrapped or entangled in that. So, Nana Gnanam Apasya Chetasi. Stop going through all the different types of knowledges and Namo Narayanayatmum. Take up to the process of worshipping Lord Narayana. Mantram sa pranavam pranama sahitam pravartayadham muhu. So mantram sa pranamam, the mantra with pranama. He is saying about Om Namo Narayanaya because he is coming in the Sri Sampradaya. Pravartayadham pranama sahitam pravartayadham muhu. So repeatedly say these prayers to Lord Narayana. That's why that is the mood with which we should chant our Hare Krishna Maha Mantra like that. Yeah, so this is one. So what will be the state of the devotees who worship? Yat Krishna pranipata dhuli dhavala tadvarshma tadvaisiras. So that head is loftiest which is covered or smeared with the dust by repeatedly offering the Dandavat pranams before Lord Krishna. Te netre tamasodjite suruchire yabhyam harirdrishyate. That eyes which always takes darshan of the Lord is free from ignorance and always are illuminated with the bhakti that is given by the Lord. Sa buddhir, that intelligence, vimalendu senka dhavala, that is dhavala varnam means white color. So that buddhi, that intelligence is so pure and it's spotless like the white color of the conch shell, which Yamadava Dhyayini, which always meditates on Lord Madhava, Sajjihvamruta Varshinim Pratipadam Yastauti Narayanam. That tongue showers nectar, which always chants the name of Lord Narayana. So that is one of the verses that he gives. Yeah. I'm trying to give some nice verses. Yeah. So then, So then, what is that name of the Lord? What is the importance of the name of the Lord? Setruchedaika mantram. This Dravida Prabhu quotes repeatedly in the classes actually. Setruchedaika mantram, Sakalam Upanishad Vakya Sampujya mantram, Samsarocheda mantram, Samuchita Tamasa Sangha Niryana mantram, Sarvaiswaryaika mantram, Vyasana Bhujaga Sandashta Santrana mantram, Jihve Śrī Kṛṣṇa mantram, Japa Japa Satatam, Janma Sāphalya mantram. So this mantra is Setruchedeka. It will free from enemies. What are the main enemies one has? The Arishad Vargas. That is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas. Lust, anger, greed, envy, all these things are the main enemies that a soul faces in the material world. So this will free us from that. And the Sakalam Upanishad Vakya Sampujya mantram. All the Vedic Upanishads, is the summary of what are there is Sampujya mantram. He is glorifying this mantram. Samsarocheda mantram, Samuchita Tamasa Sangha Niryana mantram, so on, so on. So Jihve Śrī Kṛṣṇa mantram. On the tongue, that Śrī Kṛṣṇa mantram, Japa Japa Satatam. Always repeatedly chant this Śrī Kṛṣṇa mantram, Janma Sāphalya mantram. One will perfect their life by chanting this name repeatedly. And then he says, Chetas Chintaya. So by using the intelligence, Chetas Chintaya Kirtaya Swarasane, use your tongue to glorify Lord. Use your intelligence to meditate on the Lord. Namri Bhavatvam Siro, use your head to offer obeisances before Lord. Hastav Anjali Samputam Rachayatam, use your hands to offer Anjali Samputam before Lord and Rachayatam, use it to write any offerings to the Lord. Vandasva dirgham vapuhu, offer obeisances towards the Lord. That is how you should use one's body. Atman samsraya pundarika nayanam Nagachala Indra Sthitam. So your entire intelligence and mind, all the things, you should samsraya Pundarikanayam, you should meditate, completely meditate on Pundarikanayam, that Lord who has lotus eyes, who is sleeping on the mountain like snake, like you can see in the first painting where Lord will be sleeping on the snake. So on that Lord constantly meditate. Dhanyam punyatamam tadeva paramam daivam hi satsiddhaye. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the paramam daivam. So by doing this dhanyam punyatamam, you will perfect your own life. Like that he says. So this is the 34th one. So yeah. So the state of like he offers some prayers also in this, that is Kṛṣṇo rakshatuno jagatraya guruhu. So Kṛṣṇa, you are the guru of the three worlds. So rakshatuno, please protect me. Kṛṣṇo hi visvam bharaha Kṛṣṇādeva samudhitam jagadidam Kṛṣṇelayam gacchati Kṛṣṇe tishtati visvametadakhilam Kṛṣṇasya dasa vayam Kṛṣṇenākhila sadgatir vitarita Kṛṣṇāya tasmai namaha. He says about different activities and the roles Kṛṣṇa plays, but there is a beauty about this sloka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is teaching the Sanskrit grammar, instead of using the rules of grammar, he used to use this sloka to say different aspects of the Sanskrit grammar. This consists of like 11 or 10 grammatic principles, like Kṛṣṇo rakshatuno, Kṛṣṇāt eva samudhitam, Kṛṣṇo hi visvambharaha. Like that, what are the what is that construction of Sanskrit sentences come, that grammar, Mahaprabhu used to use this. So that is one. And there is one very intimate verse that Kulasekhara Ālvār writes. This is the last one I will say. Yeah. So this is the last sloka I will say. So the absorption, to reflect the absorption of Kulasekhara Ālvār, this shows like how much absorbed he is. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Śrī Kṛṣṇa Pādāmbujan. So these are, people say that it's at the later stages where he's saying Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi. So my mind is not able to deter from the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa even for a moment. So of course we are not in that state, but we can see what is the state Kulasekhara Ālvār is there. So Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Śrī Kṛṣṇa Pādāmbujan nindantu priyabandhava gurujana grunantu munchantu va. Let my priyabandhava, dear relatives, let them say whatever the words they want to say about me. So if someone enters into bhakti deep, the first criticism you get is from the relatives. Arey, what is going on? Why are you going so deep? You can see nindantu, let them use whatever the words they want. And gurujana granantu munchantuva, let my superiors accept me or reject me. Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja, let the people spread evil rumors about me. Vamse kalankostuva, let my entire dynasty be tarnished with any names that he is using, mad king or whatever they are using, let them put whatever it is. Vamse kalankostuva, but tadruk prema dharanuraga madhuna mattaya manam tume. A little superb translation over there. So Mattaya manam tume, for a madman like me, it is honor enough to feel this flood of love of Godhead, which brings such sweet emotions of attraction for my Lord. So this is the offering of the prayers of Kulasekhara Ālvār. That is one who is constantly in the glorification of Lord or completely absorbed in the Lord, that taste to be more and more absorbed that Kṛṣṇa gives. So these are some assorted verses of Mukunda-mala-stotram. They are very small verses, like you can read also in your personal time. So that's all. Thanks all for patiently being here. If anyone has any questions or comments, you can say now. Within like 10 minutes or so, we'll have the darshan of the Lord, and we'll take the last darshan, and we'll have the arati, and then that's all for today. Thank you all. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.